Hey, what's up, everybody? You got Jerome Green on the scene, and I got this new show I'm trying out, and it's called the Hip Hop with the Artist. All right. So, with that being said, I got my good man here, long time good friend, and an international reggae artist named Zion, who performed with Ziggy and recorded at Tough Gone. Tough Gone. And you know, I love reggae music. But this man, he went there and did all that stuff back in the day. But with that being said, we're going to get into it and ask him a few questions and get to know this young man. This young man right here.
Blessings.
Yeah, he got some good music, man. Those who ain't, oh man, he got some stuff for you. But anyway, so I'll let you talk. I mean, who are you and your name and it?
Zion Albert, man, from the Rock of Dominica, West Indies. Yeah.
The Dominica West Indies.
But came up to the islands, Virgin Islands, at the age of 10. You know. Yeah. VI, respect, St. Croix, you know, massive, St. Thomas, St. John, you don't know.
Okay.
All VI massive, big up, yeah.
All right, that's cool. I know I'm always been into reggae music. I know you was kind of shocked, like back in the day, like all the stuff I was like mentioning. He said, man, you really know your stuff, honey.
I remember that. Sure do, bro.
Yeah. So with that, that's gonna bring me to my first question. All right, the first question. What inspired you to do music? Not just music, but the reggae music that you do, man. Yeah.
You know, being born in a village, you know, it's different from being born in the city. You know, every morning you wake up, you're surrounded by mountains, you're surrounded by animals, you're surrounded by birds. You know, you're surrounded by the breeze, and you are surrounded by what we call in the island a natural mystic. It's a natural vibration. You know?
Right.
So right there, you were tuned with the earth because, you know, growing up in the Caribbean island, Dominica, we had to go to the water, the pipe, and we had to carry buckets of load of water to fill up the barrel before we went to school. And we had to go up in the gardens to get food from the gardens and, you know, cut wood for the fire. And we didn't have transportation, and, you know, so it was a rough life, you know. So.
Oh, wow.
Growing up in a village like that, you know, you do appreciate the life, but at the same time, the life is rough and tough, and you see a lot of people who struggle, a lot of poor people who don't really have much, and, you know, and the only thing that people can really do to help one another, if somebody do something for you, is to just offer them some food. This is just to tell you what it's like, you know. So, you know, so all of that, you know, grew inspiration in my life to write music based on reality of life and things that matters in the world, things that's going on around the suffering of I and I people. You know?
Right, yeah. I know one thing that tripped me out is like me dealing with people from the islands. One thing I noticed, it don't take much for them to be happy.
True.
Like I know for me, coming up, I mean, becoming Americanized.
Right.
A lot of us get accustomed to having all those nice things. I don't say necessarily nice things, but going out and able to get that stuff, nice stuff, nice and everything. We get accustomed to that, and I know me, man. It was like, right. I know for me, it's like it don't take much to make me happy. Right. I mean, it's like, man, it's nice to have those things,
for sure.
For
sure. Good vibes.
The next thing is next question I have is if you could play or work with anybody, who would it be? Who would it be? Who you would like to work with, or even sing, or
you know, I had some experiences, you know, performing with some top heads, you know, in the reggae business, which I'm very grateful, you know, because coming, like I said, from a village to performing with Ziggy Marley, Junior Reid, Luciano, Rash Shiloh, and all them on there, you know.
Oh, you play with? I mean, you been around all those people?
Yeah, man, been around them. Man. Just recently, we did a show in Las Vegas with Baby Sean, man. You know, so but I would like to say Taj Weeks, you know, for those who do not know him.
That must be a new up and coming person.
Yeah, well, no, he's been doing his thing for a minute, and I ran into him up there, you know, in the Midwest. I'm doing a show, and we did a show. He did a show, and I did my show first, and I get to meet him. And you know, we're from similar background. He's from St. Lucia. I was born in Dominica, so we speak what we call patois. To some people, it's like broken French and Creole. He speak the same language, you know. So, you know, so I look at it like you don't really find too much people from Dominica or from St. Lucia who is rootical reggae music. So when you find people who are coming from similarity background you are in and striving to become for the music and the message to go out, then you automatically get connected. And the reason I would like to do some music with him because he's a very influential brother. He's very kind and he showed me a lot of love. Very, you know, he will respond to my messages and he does a lot of work for youths in his country to help the children out. I think it's through TACO. I think that's his, if I'm not mistaken, his you know, what you raise funds with. What is that name they call them?
You say raise fund?
Like, yeah, the organization that he has.
Organization. I mean, fundraiser.
Yeah, fundraiser thing. Like, but there's a word for it. Anyway, but he's right now currently in Africa right now. He has a show with Big Mountain and some really top heads right now. So I would like to say Taj Weeks to just make a long story. It was Ziggy before, but I got to meet Ziggy and different things, and I love Ziggy Marley music still. But
okay, so with that being said, that brings to the next question. Do you have a like a favorite artist that you listen to, or like when you're not listening to your music or what have you? Is there like somebody that you listen to get inspiration from or whatever?
That's a good question, man. That's a good question. You know, I still listen to a lot of Ziggy Marley. Ziggy Marley, I've always loved his voice. There's something about his vocal that I've always loved. I listen to a lot of Lucky Dube. You know, it's hard to say one favorite artist. You know, Bob Marley, of course, you know, the king of reggae music. We listen to a lot.
So that influence, like when making your music, like
yeah. I still stick with the old roots, the roots music. I still can't get away from the roots. I just, you know, here lately I've been listening to a lot of Aki Becker. And we, if you want to, I could give you a short story about that. You know, I knew Aki Becker before he was Aki Becker. You know, I knew him as Von Benjamin from St. Croix. So I've been listening to a lot of Aki Becker here lately and just really studying his message, you know.
Okay, so with those people you mentioned at the end of this, at the end of the thing, I'm gonna put up some of those albums so people can go and listen to some of their stuff that you have mentioned.
Right on.
And then also too, like I say, I wanna put some of your music up. Some of your music up too and everything.
Give thanks.
The next question is let me see, how long have you been doing music? How long have you been dabbling, and when is the first time you like picked up the mic or picked up the instrument and said, "Oh man, this is it"? This is
Yeah, the first time, you know, I was at the age of 16. I remember.
When you started?
Yeah, that's when I started. You know, I didn't know anything about music. As far as playing the guitar.
What about singing? Or both of those kind?
It didn't come to me yet. It didn't come to me yet. But it was inside of me the whole time, you know, because I love music. I love listening to records. Ziggy Marley, his older album, I used to listen to a whole bunch.
Okay.
You know, so I've always loved the roots. I was always, something inside was always loving that feel, you know?
Got you.
So, you know, when I was at the age of 16, I would say over 30 years now, I've been playing, I've been into the music thing. I started with the guitar and I had to, of course, you know, learn it.
Yeah.
So that was the most challenging, difficult part. But once I learned it, then I started to realize that I had a writing skills, you know, that I had a talent and a gift for writing. So I just started to write my first tunes, and some of my songs, I remember we had a 4 cassette, I guess they call it LP or whatever they call it back in the days, but I ran into some local producers in St. Croix who had a recording studio, and we recorded a song called United We Stand, my first song, Tribulation, Here Comes the Woman. And,
that was your very first
song. And it was one more, I can't remember. I still have the cassette, still wrap up to this day. Haven't even been opened yet. But that's where it started, and then from since then, it's been over 30 years now I've been doing music. So that's where it really started, you know?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to the very first song and listened to like any of your latest songs to see like, wow, this is I've been through came a long ways. Have you ever did that or?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, man. Yeah, I have. I mean, listening back sometimes I don't even want to listen to myself. I said, damn.
But okay, like back then,
yeah.
Was you like to now were you very far off from because I know like me, I do graphic design, video and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like my first video I ever did,
Mm-hmm.
and to now I looked at it
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, damn, I wasn't too far off. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, have you ever did that to critique yourself? It's like, man, that first time to now, it's like, has it been? It's like,
you know, I look at it this way. For being 16 years old, most people my age was playing. You know, most people my age, they was doing other things. You know, but you know, all I wanted to do was just go to the recording studio. So I really look back and see I had a lot of potential, you know, as a young child, you know, a lot of potential, because how many 16-year-old you can say that had a cassette and had a studio to go to and had a producer who was spending money and bringing you to the radio station. You know, I experienced all of that from an early age.
Oh, somebody, you had some type of support.
Two producers, Cito and Peter Brown. Peter Brown is from, everybody know Peter is in St. Croix, US Virgin Islands. So Peter was one of my producers. He's an engineer and he used to do the music and everything. And then Cito was the manager of the record label. So them two picked me up and they was funding and pushing me. You know what I mean? So it was a great accomplishment. But to answer your question, yeah, it wasn't that bad for my age, around that age. You know what I mean? It wasn't bad because it was strictly roots and it had, you know. I used to arrange my music where I used to put like bridges into my songs. So how many youths around that age will actually sit down and think of putting some bridges or breaking down your song and putting, and here's the thing too, because you just jogged my memory, right? Bridges was like very complicated thing. So imagine you just learning an instrument.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out, first of all, you have to figure out how to put chords together to make them a song, right? Mm-hmm. You could know G, C, F, A, whatever, but you have to know how to make them come together to make them. So I remember that when I was young. I remember trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I had learned the chords, but I remember, okay, how do I put them chords together to make a song? And then now, after learning that, then I had to learn how to make a bridge to make the song interesting. So it was a big challenge, you know. But luckily I had man like Sammy Griffin, who knew how to play guitar, took me underneath his wings and taught me. And Rookie, I remember Rookie used to give us a place to practice. Buffon William, all them on there, you know, big up yourself. You see me, forget you guys.
Well, I have something that goes along with that. What about your family? Like when you first started, did they support you or say, man, go ahead and do that? Or did they give you any type of
support?
Any type of support, or did they say, oh, no, we don't want you doing that, or yeah, go ahead and do it? Or
may I speak the truth? Who can't set you free?
Well, that makes it a nice story. Telling the truth, but some people don't. Yeah.
But my mother and my father, in turns, they was very strict. You know, the reason why they were strict because there was a lot of violence in the islands.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things going on around. My mother, she was very protective because I was the only son.
Got you.
She has a daughter, but the only boy. So first child, firstborn child. So she was very protective in terms of where I go, who I friends with.
Yeah.
So as far as the support goes, she's a Christian woman. So reggae music, it's not that reggae music is bad. It's just that in the island there was something going on with Christian and the Rastas. You know what I mean? So it was hard for me.
Okay.
I was pulled because I've always liked the Rasta culture, but yes, my mother's a Christian, so I have to respect what my mother say and what my father say goes in her home. That's her rules. And we was raised with morals, so we had to respect everything that was going on in the place, in the home.
Gotcha.
So my mother did support. She did support me, but she didn't show it like in like She didn't show it until later down the road that she all the people who was, you know, like bigging up, man, your son, man, your son, you know, he's really good.
So now she she's all for it. I mean,
they my father always been cool. He was always been cool with it. You know, he's never. But cool. My mother was more the protective person. But now she sell a lot of my music. She gives a lot of CDs away. I mean, she's talked to people all over the island. You know,
wow.
So
that's cool.
She's a big supporter right now. Big supporter.
So the last question I have.
Yeah, man.
What is the message you try to put out through your music? Like all your songs, whatever. I mean, is there like any one like thing or that you try to put out through your music?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I would like to see mankind live together, you know, because that's my message. You know? My message is about love, peace, and unity. My message is about Jah Almighty. My message is about reality. Reality, that things that's going on, things that's matter. Because we have a voice, right? And we must use our voice because words, you know, is the most powerful things on the face of the universe, you know, because His words is what created this universe that we are living on right now. When Jah said, let there be light and there shall be light, and Jah separated the light from the darkness and different things. From the beginning, there was the word. The Bible said that, right?
Wow. So
word is everything, you know. So I use my word to send out a message of love. And, you know, I don't like to see division.
Yeah.
You know, especially with I black people, you know. I don't like to see the division, you know. I think black people have a long way to go because we don't really support one another. We don't come together as a people. You know, we have a few, probably, you know, 20%, but the other percentage is like really divided. We don't listen to one another. Before we hear one another talk, we ready to jump to conclusion. Say you get into an argument, you're not really listening to that brother say, yo, me don't want no trouble. If the man say he don't want no trouble, just, you know, he don't want no trouble, but sometimes that by itself alone, they use that as a negative thing to say, oh, you don't want any trouble, and then they come because they experience it. So I don't like to see, and then with heads of government, with the system and you know all the fake things that's going on with the news, the media, and all them different things. Right. It's creating a lot of tension, and people are falling into them things. So I would like to see the world come together as a people and realize we are people, we are human beings, you know. And really, that's my message. My message is to enforce love and unity. You know?
Now, here's something. What is the music that's playing in the background right now? What's the song that you have playing in the background?
Serious revolution time, you know, because we are living in a serious revolution time. People are standing up for their rights. They're fighting. It's a revolution going on, and it's a serious times right now. So yeah, we are living in a pandemic area. So you know,
All right. So well, what's the name of the people you mentioned earlier? Because I want to put up like an album or something that you said you mentioned that you
open up for. I played with.
Oh no, I mean like you was talking about because you remember earlier I said I was gonna at the end I was gonna put up a little album.
Yeah, the people Rod that you Shiloh, you know, Junior Reid, Luciano, Ziggy Marley. Recently Baby Sham up in Las Vegas. You know, Yellow Man the King. You don't know, say big up. You know, perform with Yellow Man down in Washington.
So once again,
Taj Wicks, don't forget Taj Wicks. Don't forget.
Okay. Before we run out of time, because we got like a minute, and what if people want to hear your stuff? Where can they go to hear your stuff? I'm gonna put it up on the bottom down here.
They can go directly to my website, which is zionreggaemusic.com, right? And they can go to Amazon Music, they can go to iTunes, they can go to Apple Music, and if you want to see some videos, you can go to YouTube. But the main thing, if you want to get my music, you can go to zionreggaemusic.com.
All right then. Once again, you got Jerome Green with the hip hop with the artist.
It's okay.
Well, I'm sorry. With my man Zion, the international reggae artist. Like I say, once again, we out with the hip hop and the hip hop with the artist. All right, peace, and I'm out. Later.
Blessed love, Zion, respect.
Living in a serious time. It's a revolution time. We gonna rise.